Angelina and Henry. Angelina could hardly wait to go camping in the Big Cat Mountains with Uncle Louie. "I'll dance under the stars," she smiled as she spun around the room. Little cousin Henry showed off his Panama hat. "I'm going to be a great explorer," he announced. "Are you fit and fearless?" Uncle Louie asked with a wink. "Long ago, Big Cat lived up there." They set off early the next morning with Mrs. Mouseling's cheese crumpets still warm in their pockets. At first, Angelina skipped and twirled along the winding trail. Then she noticed Uncle Louie disappearing up the mountain and had to race to catch up. As they climbed higher and higher, Angelina began to feel very hot and tired. Henry happily jogged ahead of her. "You're too slow, Angelina," he teased. "Big Cat will get you." "My backpack is so heavy," moaned Angelina. "Only another mile or two to go," said Uncle Louie to encourage her. At last they reached the top of the mountain, and Angelina collapsed with a sigh. "We've got to set up camp before sunset," said Uncle Louie, showing Angelina and Henry how to unpack. "Can we have our campfire now?" Angelina asked hopefully. "You'll need to collect some wood," Uncle Louie replied, "while I put up the tents." Henry scampered off into the trees. "Let's explore," he shouted, waving a stick. "We have to get the firewood first," Angelina reminded him. But it was much more fun exploring, and soon the two little mouselings were deep in the forest. They played hide and seek and sword fighting, and then they discovered a secret fort. Before long, they'd forgotten all about Uncle Louie and collecting firewood. The wind was beginning to whistle, and strange shapes loomed behind the trees. Actually, let me just restart this whole page. When they finally stopped to look around, the forest was growing dark and shadowy. The wind was beginning to whistle, and strange shapes loomed behind the trees. Henry dropped his stick. "I'm hungry," he whimpered. The wind began to howl around them. "What's that?" Henry squeaked. He grabbed Angelina's tail. "I see Big Cat's ears," he cried. "It's just a shadow," whispered Angelina, pulling Henry into the fort. Leaves and branches flashed by in the wind. "Big Cat is coming," wailed Henry, hiding his eyes. "We have to be brave," said Angelina, and she leapt out into the dark night. "Shoo! Shoo! Shoo!" she shouted, waving her stick. Rain pelted down and thunder roared. Then lightning struck and a big branch crashed to the ground. All the shadows vanished. Poor Henry's whiskers were trembling. Angelina held him close, and while the storm raged around them, she made up songs and silly jokes to comfort him. Finally, the wild winds passed. Angelina was soaking wet, but she'd kept Henry cozy and warm. She'd gathered him up and set off through the woods, calling for Uncle Louie. Suddenly, Angelina stopped. A warm glow was coming through the trees. "Angelina, Henry, thank goodness you're safe." It was Uncle Louie with 2 lanterns. He hugged the little mouselings and then carried Henry to the campsite with Angelina lighting the way. They all made the bonfire together and had a great feast of chestnuts and cheddar burgers. Angelina and Henry promised Uncle Louie they'd never run off again, and they told him all about their scary adventure. After supper, Uncle Louie played tunes on his concertina while Angelina and Henry danced around the campfire. Before bedtime, they sat out under the stars. "I lost my Panama hat," Henry said sadly, "but we really scared off old Big Cat, didn't we?" "Yes," Angelina agreed, "and that's because we're both fit and fearless explorers." The end.